Welcome back to the channel with me, your host, Dr. Debra Durst, and my co-host.
Hey guys, Faraday Golembieski, family nurse practitioner here at RevitalyzeMD, and today we have a very fun podcast.
So, erogenous zones, we're going to talk all about them, even the surprising ones. So, definitely stay tuned and let's start a comment section or conversation in the comments about what your favorite erogenous zone is. So, what are the starter ones, the biggest ones, Faraday?
Well, let's talk about what are erogenous zones, right?
Well, that's a good starting point.
Great place to start. What are they?
Yeah, good one.
They are areas of the body that are very sensitive to touch or pleasure, obviously. They are just little areas where there's lots of additional little nerve bundles.
Yeah, and I really think the brain has brain being the biggest one, but also because it's really intricately connected with all the other erogenous zones.
Absolutely.
Because I think if your brain recalls something being, an arousal point in the past, it's definitely going to register and be an erogenous zone in the future, right?
All right. And so right off the bat, the brain is the number one.
Number one, I continue to say 99% of sex for women is in the brain. So you have got to stay in our head.
And if you've listened to some of our other podcasts on dopamine and oxytocin and serotonin, it would make even more sense why the brain is number one.
Brain's number one. For sure. So obviously the obvious one should come next, right?
Yeah.
So clitoris for a woman, vaginal canal, G-spot, G-complex, because it's really not just a spot. Those would be huge ones. The vulva, just the external in addition to the clitoris.
And then the penis and the scrotum for men.
Yes. So those
genitals
would be the obvious ones, right? Yeah. And then right up there is anus.
Yeah.
In the perineum, so around the anus or the anus. And so I would say that's
in between.
Yeah.
The vaginal entrance in the anus, or the spot in between the scrotum and the anus, the perineum.
Yeah. So that's a huge one. And I would say that that's a big one for both men and for women, in just, again, external stimulation. So for women, again, most of the nerve fibers are in the clitoris. And if you've seen our other videos, you've heard us talk about 8,000 nerve endings in the clitoris. And so just external stimulation of some sort is important for women because it's not just all about the G-spot or the internal orgasm. And so, those are the obvious.
Those are the obvious ones. I think another obvious one is the nipples or breasts for women.
Yeah.
And men. I guess I should say both sexes.
And so then as we move down, so we have the neck and the back of the neck, the side, the ears.
The ears, but not for everyone. It's a secondary erogenous zone.
Yeah, it's not for everyone. I don't think that any of them for everyone except for maybe those genital areas.
Yeah,
potentially.
So when you look up erogenous zones, right, there's all these different areas that are listed, but there are some that are listed as primary and some listed as secondary. And those obvious ones like the brain and the genitals and the nipples, those are considered primary. So like you said, those would be more of an everybody, where the ears may not be.
Secondary is not in everyone.
It's not in everyone.
No. Lower back. And so lower back is an important one. Inner thigh. So what about toes and feet?
Toes and feet, that's on the list. It's a kink for some, for a reason.
Yeah. Fingers. Behind the knees was a surprising one for me. I just really never thought of that as an erogenous zone.
So I've heard that before, but I don't know where. But yeah, behind the knees.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a sensitive area. Lots of nerve endings.
Yeah. Has that ever worked?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, you're gonna try that one.
We'll give it a try.
Let me know what you think about that one.
To be continued.
Abs, the abdominal wall, I think is a really important one. I think that a lot of people like, and a lot of women like that massaged. And then scalp.
So there's all these Japanese hair scalp places showing up where you go and you get your hair washed and rubbed and massaged. I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Feels good. It's relaxing.
Yeah. I don't think so. We're talking about erogenous zones.
I don't know. This is the scalp.
But yeah, you never know.
You never know.
But I do think we missed one of the primaries.
A big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lip,
lips.
Lip and tongue. You know, those are, again, primary ones too. So I think it's pretty straightforward. I just know when we were researching this topic, I found a very fun video of the Friends show talking about erogenous zones. They numbered them. Again, it wouldn't correspond with our primary ones. It wouldn't make sense, but it's a funny video. We'll put a link in the description.
It's
It was
definitely
quite
worth
humorous.
the little watch. So click on the link below.
Yeah, for a
and
little giggle. For
made
sure.
me giggle.
But I think, again, just let us know what the big thing is, I think that the brain connects all of that. So arousal is connected to the brain. You're going to remember what felt good in the past, you know, and communicating with your partner on what you like as far as touch and the different things that you like.
That's it. Don't go rubbing their ears if they don't like it. You're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, but it's probably best not to give the feedback during sex, maybe after or in a calm conversation.
Polite.
Yeah, probably not. Feedback during the moment is probably not ideal. Let them lick on your ear a little bit and then tell them after. That's probably the best way to handle it. Just my suggestion. That's all. And then again, the biggest suggestion from both of us is 99% of sex for women is in the brain. And so you need to stay in our heads. And then therefore you get everything you want.
There you go. So let's get into fun facts. What are some fun facts about the erogenous zones?
All right. Well, give me the first one.
Well, the
I want
first
to
one
see
I
if
think
they're
we've
myths
kind
or facts.
All right.
Because you sometimes throw myths out there.
Well,
That are-
allegedly. The neck has 5 times more nerve endings than the forearm.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So
I would
it's
believe
why
that.
kisses, whispers, or light breath there can send shivers down the spine.
Yeah.
I believe that. True.
I would believe that too. Ears are many pleasure points.
There are some people in this room that you do not see on camera that would disagree.
Yes. Yeah. So that one, again, check with that before or after. Maybe
But
not
what's
during,
interesting, it says that it can trigger dopamine and oxytocin release.
Yeah. I guess if it's
If it's
a secondary for you, it probably can do all of those things. I think that the more interesting question is that what an erogenous zone does is release hormones that make us more aroused. So I would think any of them could.
Yeah.
Lips 100 times more sensitive than the fingertips. I would absolutely believe that one to be the case. And nipples so connected with the genitals. I would believe that one too.
Yeah, it said that the nipples enact the same region of the brain as genitals. So that's a pretty big statement to say that nipple activation activates the same areas of the brain that are responsive as the penis or the vagina or the clitoris.
Well,
That's
some
huge.
women have nipple orgasms.
Yeah.
And so that's actually a type of orgasm. We've done that video before with types of orgasm.
I know.
and
I
nipples
remember
can
that.
be
All the
one
types of
them.
orgasms.
Yeah. And so I would believe that to be the case. And again, I think some women really, and men significantly will reach orgasm faster with stimulation of the nipples. So I would believe that one to be the case. I think the one about the inner thighs being the anticipation area is fully true. Like, again, if you're getting that close, you're expecting the rest. I mean,
and if it doesn't happen, something went terribly wrong.
Something went wrong. If that doesn't, like, your next move, next up is, or close.
It's a one-way ticket.
Or somewhere in there, one-way ticket, next up. Yeah, you're getting close. So I think in the lower back, I think that that's big for, a lot of women. And so I don't know so much about men. So I'd love to know what men have as their top erogenous zones and things that we didn't include, including feet and toes. Like, let us know what happens when you see toes or, the feet fetish. I hear a lot of that on, what's it called? The OnlyFans. Yeah, which we're not getting a channel of, by the way, too, because we get asked that frequently. So no OnlyFans for us. But I do hear that you can sell, pictures of, So, yeah.
So let us know, what are your erogenous zones? Are any of these things making sense? Do you know any fun facts we don't know? Let's have a discussion in the comments below.
Just let us know your thoughts because we are obviously willing to deep dive into anything sexual wellness or wellness.